Thank you very much, Professor Høgh. I think it's one of the purposes of this conference is to introduce new thoughts, new connections, and I think that the connection between contraception and Kierkegaard is new. So I think we've got a good start here. The planning and the organization of this congress has been performed by the European Society of Contraception and Reproductive Healthcare, led by the president of the society, Johannes Bitzer, and on behalf of the Danish and the Nordic societies of obstetrics and gynecology, I want to thank you very much for the efforts. Johannes Bitzer is a professor at the University of Basel in Switzerland, where he is the head of the Division of Psychosomatic Obstetrics and Gynecology. Professor Bitzer has been a very dynamic president of our society for the last 5 years, and he has been able also to introduce a more humanistic and holistic approach to the field of contraception and reproductive health care. So please, Johannes.
Thank you very much. You can feel that I'm very nervous because I've never talked in front of a Royal Highness, but I will. It has been a long, long way from the 26th December in 1988 in Paris, when 6 gynecologists met there. Some of them are here among us, and one of them will talk after me, to found a society which they called European Society of Contraception, ESC. A long way to May 2013, here and now, at our first global conference on contraception, reproductive and sexual health, with colleagues from 92 countries distributed all over the globe. This 25-year-old journey did not only lead to a geographical expansion of the original society, but it was also marked by a broadening of content and matters the society was dealing with. This is reflected in the transition of the name from European Society of Contraception to European Society of Contraception and Reproductive Health. The change from a more specialized focus on contraceptive technology to a more global approach to women's sexual and reproductive health. Since several years, we inside the society felt that we should become more global from a geographic and from a scientific point of view, because the problems we are dealing with demand a global approach. I just want to mention 3 of them, and I must tell you that what I'm going to say is much less impressive than what the Royal Highness said, but I have to say it because it's written here. The first issue is prevention of unintended pregnancies with the medical and psychosocial consequences that have been mentioned already. And this is a global challenge which needs collaboration between healthcare professionals of different background, doctors, midwives, nurses, health agencies, industry, politicians, media, women's organizations, NGOs, to develop and produce, on one hand, effective and safe contraceptive methods with good tolerability and, if possible, additional health benefits. But not only that, but to assure that these methods are accessible and available to women all over the world. And this can only be done if we really try to join our efforts. The second problem was also mentioned. It's the prevention of STIs, including HIV. This collaboration, global collaboration, is needed to practice primary prevention in a world where people move constantly across borders and for secondary prevention in providing effective screening and effective treatment. The third problem is violence against women and sexual minorities. The fight for sexual rights is a global fight which we can only win if we join forces to create awareness, reduce prejudices, and spread the knowledge by sexual education and sexual counseling. In this Congress, I believe that we have achieved to create a forum of encounter of different specialists, interest groups, organizations, international bodies to enable and facilitate networking for the future. And this is my very personal wish and hope for this Congress, that this Congress may be a place where new networking is going to grow in the future. Finally, let me talk a moment about Copenhagen, or Copenhagen, or in Copenhagen. I had the pleasure to be here several times, and I must tell you, I love the city and the Danish people. I think that they have the most charming accent, whatever language they speak. And if you want to really enjoy the city, do not wait for the sun, which may never come, or which may not come during the 3 days. Take your raincoat and umbrella and go downtown. Sit in a cafe. And now I must say, I'm really very much touched because I wrote this really before the Dean. Sit in a cafe and read Søren Kierkegaard. To understand why some Danish people are so melancholic. Or read Hans Christian Andersen to bring you back to your childhood dreams. Or for some of you like me, read the police stories of Adler Olsson to understand why the best thrillers worldwide come from Scandinavia. So please enjoy science, culture, and company. And I wish you a very special personal experience that remains to the rest of your life of these days in Copenhagen. Thank you very much.